Ooh, what's up? What's up, everybody? Just getting back from partying with my Lakers after another win streak. Boy, we are jamming. Feel like being in LA. Woo! Back to the '80s days when the Lakers used to party after all the victories in the little club Dr. Bus put right up under the Great Western Forum. Woo! These are good old days. All right, what are we talking about this week? Besides my Lakers kicking butt, NCAA thoughts. March Madness is in full effect, baby. We down to the Elite Eight. Unfortunately, ain't no number ones amongst the crowd. The WBC is finally over. Now it's time for some real baseball. We're gonna definitely get your thoughts on that. I'm not sure. Are we talking about Mario Chalmers and his thoughts on LeBron? We'll see. Should the NBA shut it down once teams are eliminated? Isn't it enough load management? Cam Newton trying to come back to the NFL. Uh, Time is not on his side, okay? Lamar still being dumb. John Morant speaks. He's returned. Is it genuine? Do we care? MJ finally decides to sell his piece of the team. Has it been a success? Well, we'll talk about that. Ed Cooley moves to Georgetown. Rick Pitino moves back to New York. This and so much more. Episode 275 begins right now.
What's going on, everybody? The Right Reverend is back with the fellas.
Rev back, y'all.
Of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Red and Coach are coming to you live from the show. My Rev is coming to you from the East Coast, particularly Coatesville, PA. We're giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen? Real knowledge. So hang out with your boys, Red, the Reverend, and the Coach for episode 275 of the Red and Red Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, we now turn our numbers attention to the numerologist on the panel, Coach Patrick Thomas, giving us something or someone associated with those numbers 2, 7, and 5. What you got for us, Coach?
Well, good morning, everybody. This is about to be my last day on the show, unfortunately, because my number 275 goes to a 2-time Pro Bowler. And you know him from his very, very, very famous Coke commercial. And I'm sorry, Rev, but I had to go with number 75. The only 75 I know, Mean Joe Green, number 275. So I'll see you all later. He told me not to, but unfortunately I had to go with my boy, Mean Joe Green.
May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you, grant you peace. Thank you for serving for over 3.5 years. You're now officially dismissed. Bye-bye. All right, Greg, what you thought, man?
Oh, boy. I thought Coach could have came up with somebody other than 75. No. He could have used number 27, Coach.
What now, Red? We thought you might have to do it because something was going on with Coach's technical, his tech pieces over there. So who were you thinking about?
Oh, well, I was just going to represent a few great players who wore the number 27 because it wasn't that many. I mean, ain't that many guys who wore. I was going to do it backwards instead of 75, using 5 players who wore number 27. I was going to give you 5 great players. You got Eddie George. You got Malcolm Jenkins. You got Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. You got your boy Vladimir Guerrero, MLB Hall of Famer. And last but not least, arguably the greatest player in the game, Mike Trout, number 27. So that's 5, 275, 5 great players who wore number 27. There you go.
Creative. That was pretty creative. You did that kind of on the fly. And you know, Coach had already thought about Mean Joe Green last week after episode 2.
I'm sure he had him on the brain.
He wasn't thinking about nothing else but Mean Joe Green once he saw that there was a 75 associated with.
But
But
Coach, you probably already said that with the other 75.
nevertheless, we're gonna give him some grace this week. Let's welcome Reverend Night Nation as we normally do. Let me see how my peeps are doing today. It looks like we got our folk in the house today. Brother Tony has vowed not to cuss today. Thank you, Brother Tony, and the VP.
Oh, Tony, appreciate that.
VP is saying thank you as well. The VP is in the building, slamming down the gavel for another fire session of the Red and Rev Sports Show. The president has told the VP to slam the gavel. Thank you, President, for staying out the lake this week and coming to the show. I truly appreciate you. Maurice Thrower, good morning to you. He's back. All right, and let's get the party started. He's trying to take the gavel from the VP. What's up with this?
We're going to have some battles in Rev Night Nation.
VP representing the Gamecocks down here in Greenville, South Carolina. Regional action, UCLA. It goes down today at 2 o'clock. You know how they doing it in Columbia with that fire women's basketball team in that area. Rev back in the easy. I helped keep your seat warm. Thank you, VP. You did a good job, man. I truly appreciate you. You look like you were natural. So I appreciate you hanging out with the fellas, holding it down for me while I was gone. The president says, good morning, gentlemen, in the woods hunting speckled Tasmanian hedgehog. All right. The president, boy, he loves nature, I tell you. The VP got some advice for you, Coach. Coach needs to record Rev's intro, get Jerome to help you with flashcards. Only problem is Jerome may misspell the word. All right, the VP said, Mean Joe Green, I vote to give you a pass because number 75 is the exception. All right, we'll go along with the pass. He says, Coach was the one who he handed Mean Joe Green to go.
Oh, Lord, get back on the lake.
Oh, my Lord, wow. And Brother Tony said, I can't wait for football season. This off-season, teams acting like a game of fantasy football. Miss Tisha Young, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in. Reverend Night Nation is representing hard. Maurice Thor, Mean Joe Green is a pride of North Texas. He's well deserved of today, so they are getting along with Coach's Pittsburgh Steelers fetish. Lord have mercy. What's going on, Brother Winston? Glad to have you.
What's up, Winston?
Joe Black is recovering from surgery, so yeah, we want to lift up prayers. Joe Black. And let me just insert also, let's continue to pray for Miss Dana Brickens here.
Yes.
Victoria, BC, Canada. All right, brother, man. We going internationally. All right, man. Appreciate you. And thanks, Rev, for the props. The fellas make it easy to hang with them. I got you. Good morning to you. It's Mama Harris, glad to have you.
And doing, Mama Harris?
The president got some more to add on to Coach handing Mean Joe Green the Coke. He said the Coke was flat. That's why he was mean. No doubt about it. And thanks for showing Mama Harris some love, man. Let's jump in, man. Let's jump in. I'm trying to get the cobwebs off. So if I make a few mistakes, don't beat me up too much, Reverend Nation. I haven't been on the show for 2 weeks now, and I'm a little mentally drained after doing the traveling. But hopefully it'll be like training wheels, and I get my rhythm real quickly. All right, here we go. Dope note, Coach, and we're gonna get Coach first since his internet is pretty strong right now. So let's jump on into it. Coach still hasn't watched that 75 jersey. All right, Coach, what are you doping on, sir?
My dope moment goes to, we ain't going to talk about it that much, but the improved women's basketball in the NCAA tournament. They got some games that are just as good as the men, so I got to give the props. It's ladies' night, and they are playing like, hey, you're going to watch us as well as you watch these men, so props to the women in college basketball.
Oh, yeah. All right. Redrick. What you doping?
What am I doping on this week? I'm surprisingly to say, after as much as we talk about this guy, it's time to show him some love. I am doping on one Scotty Pippen.
Oh Lord.
Oh boy, Scotty Pippen. That's right, man. And I tell you, Scotty has said one word this week, but I'm doping on him for what his ex-wife said, especially for what she said about their 23 years of marriage and what Scotty had to do every day for those 23 years of marriage. All I gotta say to you is, Scotty, whew, much props to you. And boy, how did you not have weak knees during those championship years with the Bulls? I have no idea. But anyway, props. Dope to you, Scottie Pippen, for being married to Larsa Pippen for 23 years. And that's all I'll say on that.
I don't know what kind of soundbite I should play for that. Red, man, we're gonna have to watch you. Man, Red, won't you get out these superstars' relationships, man?
See what I've been talking about it all week. They were talking about it all on radio stations
That's
all
not
week.
a real sports topic, but
Okay, okay, I got a real sports though. Okay, I'll dope on.
give us a
I'll
real.
dope on.
I'm gonna give you a pass on your double dopes because you like to do that sometimes. But go ahead, give us a real sports moment dope.
Okay, a dope moment for Mina Kynes. Jason Whitlock tried to be racial to her as well. No, some radio guy was made a racial comment this week, and then Jason Whitlock doubled back down on the racist comment. So much props for Mina Kynes for taking a high road and really much putting Jason in his place by saying, "Sweetie, I don't have time for you. I have to go talk about sports, something that you wish you were doing and are not doing. So bye." So props for Mina Kynes for taking a high road on Jason Whitlock's ignorance. Much props, Mina Kynes, ESPN.
Absolutely excellent.
All right, I am doping on one Rodney Terry, the interim basketball coach for the University of Texas, who happens to be a black coach, leading the Texas Longhorns into the Elite Eight, one game away from the Final Four. So big props to Rodney Terry, and Texas administration and fans need to be getting prepared to remove the interim tag off him and give that black man the job.
Oh, yeah.
All
Yep.
right, Red. What are you noping on, sir?
Uh, I'm noping on these NBA players in today's games. Do they know that they only have one challenge a game? Because the way these fools be acting, I mean, every single foul call, every single bad call is twirling their hands. Check the tape. Challenge it. Hey, fools, you only got one challenge each game. This ain't the NFL where you got one challenge each half or one challenge each quarter, which will probably be cool, but still. One challenge a game, morons. So you can't sit there and start twirling your fingers to the bench to your coach every time a foul don't go your way, okay? One challenge per game. So make sure you use it wisely and stop looking to the bench and looking to the coach every time a foul call don't go your way. Challenge it! Look at the tape! No, dummy! No, dummy! Waiting for the fourth quarter. Sorry, real.
All right, for the first time on the Red and Red Sports Show, I have a dunno.
What?
Oh
I'm
Lord.
looking on the fact that there have been some major injuries that have already taken place in Major League Baseball in spring training. You had Rice Hoskins, the first baseman for the Philadelphia Phillies, who tore an ACL. You had Edwin Diaz, pitcher for the New York Mets, who is the closer, who went down in the World Baseball Classic.
Celebrate.
Because you want to see teams at full strength to really, see what they can do. But it's a dope, meaning the dope on the dope, because that bears well for my Atlanta Braves to have two top players on two of the top teams go down with injuries is looking good for the Braves if they could just stay healthy. So that's why I'm done open on this time in Real Sports Show history.
Oh, come on!
All right, man. Coach, what are you noping on, sir?
I'm noping on the fact that the Masters is coming up. I think it's next week or the week after next. And Masters did something that's causing a lot of grief among his patrons and other people there. They have canceled serving the peach ice cream sandwich, a staple at the Masters. That used to be there. That's it. That's been the last 20, 30 years. And replacing it with some berry something. The people at the Masters are upset. And I'm upset because I wanted to try one.
Peach ice cream. Lord have mercy. We go with relationship.
If you have seen it,
You have to be kidding.
All right, Coach. You got it, brother. All right, let me move into this cope. I am coping on the fact that the Lakers fans are setting Austin Reeves up for failure. They need to stop all that MVP chant. He's been balling and been playing excellent basketball. But let's stop with the MVP because he's been balling, and we know that his color got some of the reason why they talk about MVP. All right, he's balling, playing good, setting himself up to get paid some good money. But please stop with the MVP stuff. Okay, I truly appreciate that. Or if y'all keep on boosting his head up, he's going to try to do more than what he's capable of doing, and it's going to help to have a horrible death for his game in the LA Lakers because he's going to try to do too much. All right. Let's move on.
I understand. I don't want to try to do too much. I don't want to start feeling himself.
Exactly. There you go. He was undrafted for a reason.
Yeah.
let's.
You're right. Yeah. I guess we just a little happy, but you're right. He deserved to get paid, but yeah, thinking he's like Kobe, like they call hillbilly Kobe, dude. Yeah. Kobe and this guy shouldn't even be in the same sentence.
And you see, like he started to do a lot more dribbling and all of that stuff. Like it's started to get to his head a little bit. Yeah, Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, just play your game, Austin. Like Rev said, don't try to do too much. We don't need you playing like the MVP. Just play your game. Just play your game. Because it's good enough to help us without you going overboard.
Exactly. Because he fits in with this new squad for sure. Coach, what are you coping on?
I'm unfortunately coping on back to the women's college basketball. They're playing so well, but they're going to have to cope with the fact, and I've never said this before, but I'm going to say it now, that they got to go to the WNBA and play. And there goes the popularity. There goes the fun. There goes whatever else they've had playing with the comrades in college basketball to the WNBA, where the product is watered down like cheap whiskey.
Cheap whiskey. Oh.
You're right, because you forget these girls when they go there.
That cheap whiskey reference sounded like a Sanford and Son reference.
Yeah. What was that he used to drink? Ripple?
Ripple.
Not Ripple. No.
Yeah, Ripple. All right, Red, close it out with the cope, and then we come into River Night Nation for your dope and open copes.
All right. I'm coping it out. I'm closing the copes out with some Phoenix Suns drama. Believe it or not, Chris Paul, this is hard to believe, but Chris Paul is now 0-43 when Scott Foster is officiating his games. 0-43. Now that is crazy. 43 games that Chris Paul has been officiated by Scott Foster, and he ain't won not one game? Wow. Maybe Devin Booker is right. He was crying too about the refs. Coach Money Williams crying about the refs. Devin Booker saying that the refs want to control the outcome of the game. Money Williams saying that his team's not getting enough foul shots. Lord, Phoenix Suns, please stop crying about the refs. Stop crying about the fouls. Lord have mercy. I understand Chris Paul, but Chris Paul hadn't even won a game when Scott Fisher's officiated his game. I don't hear him crying, but Devin Booker and Coach Money Williams, Lord have mercy. Pharrell passed him a box of tissues, all that crying they did this week. and probably gonna be doing even more crime. Lost last night to the Kings in another semi officiated leg game. So, like I say, the Phoenix Suns, you guys are gonna have to cope with the refs who obviously who you guys think are standing in your way of NBA glory. Well, get out your own heads because they ain't standing in your way. You guys just choking and not playing that well these last few weeks, okay? So that's the reality. So look in the mirror and stop looking at the refs, okay? Because it didn't help you last night. It sure didn't help you Wednesday with my Lakers. And if you keep crying, it ain't gonna help you the rest of the season, okay? So God, we have to cope with the Phoenix Suns and their veil of tears with the officiating. I'm done.
And off we go now to talk about what Revenite Nation is and coping, doping, noping, and coping on. Let's see, let's get to it. Here we
It
are.
should be what we doping, open, and cope it all.
All right. The VP is doping on men and women's basketball committees' great placements. The president is doping on March Madness, living up to the hype. Note, see the dope bracket is trash. The VP is doping on the double dope on coach's take. Miss Harris is doping on the Lakers are at 500 and are playing well.
Yes, Miss Harris. Yes.
Maurice throws doping on his Miami Hurricanes men's and women's teams heading to the Elite Eight. They are, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Harris is coping on AD plays up to his capabilities and remains injury free.
Knocking on wood, Miss Harris.
The VP said, Red Rose, that's why Scotty had those migraines. His brain work out every day. The VP also said Jason Whitlock is that fat kid that had all of the cool toys. Only reason he had friends. He's constantly doing the most. The president is doping on during the race in Atlanta last week. Josh Williams was instructed to park his car. He parks it on the start-finish line and walks to the garage, petty parking. Good morning to you, Jerome Case. There was a reference about you early in the show. Scroll up to see what they were talking about. Sister Harris is noping on the no for sale signs have gone up in front of John Calipari's home. Amen to that. The president is noping on Cam Newton gets a shot, no cap. We'll get into that in just a moment. The president says special dope to Otani in the WC, strikes out his teammate Mike Trout. Great classic battle. Japan wins the classic, and we'll get into more about that later on the show. Maurice Thrower noping to Mike Trout on striking out to his own teammate to end the World Baseball Classic. Joe Black, we've been praying for you, man, before you came on the show. Glad to see you, bro. And he's doping while he's showing up. Notre Dame has 3 black head coaches in major sports. Who would ever thought the Catholic school of that nature would have 3 black coaches in major sports? Thank you for bringing that up. The VP says Coach went from handing Mean Joe Green that flat coat to being disheveled about that sherbet peach ice cream at the Masters. Coach needs to focus his energy on the golden arches, and when they're gone, bring back the McRib. Personal coach Joe Black saying happy anniversary to the Sports Reel. Man, bless you, man. I'm celebrating my first pastoral anniversary this week here in Coatesville. So thank you, Joe. Had a great start to the celebration on Thursday with a virtual celebration. Tonight's the musical, and then we have service tomorrow. So I appreciate you, Joe Black, who actually, many of y'all may not know, he's a preacher as well. All right, Maurice Thrower is coping on the whining from the young NBA players lately. It's just aggravating. The VP says it's been whiny time for the last decade. They're so weak. The president's coping it with everything going on. Jalen Carter could still be drafted top 10.
Could.
The VP says some of these women's basketball players are holding off from going to the W because they actually make more money in college. The VP said Coach has an aged bottle of Ripper in his liquor cabinet. The president says cheap whiskey is awesome when you run it through the proper rate. He says Coach has a bottle of wine from the grapes in the Garden of Eden. Not during the creation story. Lord have mercy. Joe Black is noping on the Hawks, period. That's all he got to say. Joe Case is doping on Cam Newton saying, hold my beer and catch these fake NFL pro day passes, you mean. Nope, Cam Newton thinking he'll get picked up by the NFL team. Cope Cam Newton's audacious confidence XFL or USFL bound. That was well done. Besides the one misspelled word or word taken not used in the right proper context, but that was dope how you did that, Jerome. How you did dope, nope, and cope on one player. That's cool. That's cool. Cope, great dope, Maurice Thrower. BP said Mama Harris about to make a trip to Lexington, Kentucky to personally help Kyler Perry pack up his house to get the heck out of Dodge. Yes, she did go to University of Kentucky. Joe Black coping on Ja Morant family T-shirts. All right.
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
All right, thank y'all, Reverend Night Nation, for continuously adding to the show. We love your comments. Keep them coming, and they'll be posted on the screen during the course of the show. Let's march on real quickly to some March Madness, man.
Like how you did that.
Let's march on to some March Madness. March Madness continues. Last night, we see several teams that put their stamp into going into the Elite Eight. There are no number ones left in the NCAA tournament. We see that Alabama goes down to San
That's
Diego.
why our money not here. He knew he was going to get on him. That's why he said, I'll take the day off. Don't worry, our money. We'll be waiting next week for you to come.
Miami advances. Kansas State advances. University of Texas advances. Creighton advances. So we see everybody's bracket is busted and probably completely shot. The only thing that somebody has to root for maybe is the one team that they may have chosen to get to the Final Four and hoping that they win the NCAA championship. So, with that being said, Coach, it seems like you anxious to say something on this topic. So we'll start with you. What's your thoughts about what is taking place with March Madness right now? What you got?
Well, if you didn't see the game with Kansas State and Michigan State, that was pretty much a what they call it, a instant classic. And the young man Marquez Newell on the court, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 5'8", and yet he willed the Kansas State team to win. He had the moment where he hurt his ankle early on in the game, and he got taken off. He came back. Everybody was like, oh. And he came back and had 20 points. And get this, 19 assists, including the game winner. 19 assists. He broke the record for assists in the NCAA tournament. 5'8" now. And then also he stole the ball at the end of the game to help Kansas State beat the Fighting Izzos. So right now, he's the hot man right now. Gonzaga and UCLA, another game that turned into an instant classic. The boy from UCLA hit the three-pointer. They jumping up and down. And the young man Strother from Gonzaga hit a three-pointer from the S on March Madness on the court. Nobody thought he'd make that shot from that distance. And poor UCLA, poor bracket for me, got eliminated by Gonzaga again. I guess the slipper is fitting for Gonzaga this year. We will see. But again, just like you mentioned earlier about the coach for Texas, Texas is my team to win it all. I put them there at the beginning of the bracket. I told everybody watch them. They're athletic. They rebound well. They shoot well. And he has them on fire heading to the tournament. But unfortunately, there's a couple of sleepers out there. San Diego State is one of them. Big physical guys who just beat you to death until you submit. And I still don't know how Miami Hurricanes are still in this tournament. By bubblegum and chewing, I don't know. And
Don't upset Maurice Thrower now. Watch yourself, Coach. You're treading on thin ice now.
I'm just saying, they're playing above they're point grade and doing what they're doing. So man, it still can be anybody's tournament. Anybody can still win the tournament because it's such like your word. I'll go back to your word. The parity in this thing is unbelievable. There's so much parity. Everybody's spread out because of the NILs and my buddy going with my buddy. And then, like I said, the NIL deal made everything even, which I don't know. Do you think it's good basketball or bad basketball?
Are you just posing the question
Yeah,
to me or to just in general?
you.
It's bad basketball. I mean, I'm looking at a whole bunch of guys that shouldn't even be playing D1 basketball. I mean, I really wanted to make a comment from your earlier statement that probably for the past 4 or 5 years, women's basketball has been a much better product than the men's college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're trying to create superstars in college basketball. Well, let's think about it. When you got a D1 basketball team in the shot clock era who may only score 23 and 25 points in 20 minutes for an entire half, when we used to have teams like Loyola Marymount during the Hank Gathers and Bo Kimball era who would score 140, 150 points a game. I mean, let's think about how poor the shooting is, how poor the execution is. Can I be totally honest on the show?
Yeah.
I have not watched one complete game of March Madness. Can I be honest? Because I knew the parity was of such a nature, I didn't waste my time to fill out one bracket. I normally fill out 3 to 4 brackets per year. But I knew it was going to be impossible to fill out because there were no really legit teams that dominated over other teams. So what is going on is definitely not surprising because look at it. Back in the day, Houston would have been a number 8 seed with that kind of team that they had. Alabama might have been a 5th seed with the team that they had. Kansas would have been like a 4 or 5 or 6 seed with the kind of team that they had. There was no real legit team. So, it's bad basketball, to be honest. It's only exciting because of it being one and done. You lose one game and it's out. It's only exciting because people put a lot of money in it because of the gambling. If you took that aspect, and then also it's exciting because what you alluded to about women's basketball, these teams have automatic fan bases because of alums and students and things of that nature. But if you didn't have that element of fan base, gambling, this would be poor basketball. This would be the equivalent of high school basketball. We've seen, Coach, better high school basketball during our years as coaches than we see in college basketball right now.
Yeah, everything's all spread out, and all the talent is spread because every year, just like you said, every year you can expect to see in the Elite Eight, Final Four, either Duke, or Carolina, Kentucky, or all 3 of them, or Kansas. All 3 of them with those teams. Just imagine, I'm gonna pick one out. One dangerous team out there back in the days. Just imagine what the running Rebels would do to this bracket right here of UNLV.
Oh man, they would have. I mean, you could have put the top 5 players out of all the teams in NCAA, and they would not have beat UNLV. They would not have beat Duke when the Grant Hill years. I mean, I don't even know if you got a starting 5 in all of college basketball where you can guarantee that all 5 of those guys are going to, one, be drafted into the NBA. 2, if they are, be any good in the NBA. Like somebody was trying to tell me that the Miller kid from Alabama is going to be a superstar. I don't see it. I don't see it.
3 for 19.
Come on, man. I don't see it.
3 for 19 in his last game.
Come on, man. I mean, I put out the post last week. I said, I don't see one kid who played who I think it has star written on them.
Yeah, and along those lines, Rev, I look at my team, Carolina.
You got a dude who been starting since freshman year, who coming back for his 5th year.
That's what I was just about to talk about. Baycott.
I mean, come on, man.
Baycott. He's still soft. He hadn't gotten any weight on him. Hadn't tried to get in the weight room. Don't look like, and he's not angry. Like you said, you had angry guys like Psycho T and Eric Montrose. Those guys out there to hurt you. They went out there to play any tight soft basketball. They knew they weren't going to outscore anybody, but hey, they were going to lay a beating on somebody so the other guys could score. And then they put up what they did. Those guys would come out of the court, sometimes blood on their face, but they didn't care. They were like, hey, this for real. But he don't have that, and I don't know why he won't develop that. That's scary.
The part of the problem is when you develop players, you develop them off good competition. That helps you get better when you got to play against good or great players in practice. That's how some of these guys who may have come in as freshmen ultimately developed to be stars and superstars. Think about Michael Jordan when he walked into the gym at North Carolina. He walked in the gym, you had a James Worthy, you had a Sam Perkins. Those are the folk he walked into the gym as a freshman looking up to. That's a whole nother ball game. Now with this one and done stuff, you walking in the gym and you immediately the best player in the gym because the only folk that are left are the kids that we used to call at Mays political players. They're only on the team because of their parents got cash. They're walk-ons.
Know about them.
So those are only that's who you playing pickup against.
Yeah.
And then other freshmen who've been recruited. So it's just a travesty. The president of the We Street Youth Fellowship team in 1990 could easily been no force. Keep We Street alive, Thomas. Baycott went to high school down the street from at High Springs. I used to watch him at tournaments at VCU Siegel Center. Jerome said, where are the great coaching personalities? Where's the fear that pushes kids to be great? Now, here's the point, Red. You can have all the time you need. Here's
Take all the time y'all need. I have nothing. I'm listening to y'all. I'm learning.
Here's the point about the great coaching personalities. A lot of them have bailed out because of NIL. That's why they're bailing out. Because now they can't really coach these kids because these kids are making money. And therefore they can also transfer at will. And to a degree it's fair that they have the right to transfer just like a coach has a right to recruit a player and then leave for another job. But the transfer portal's getting out of control when you're transferring every year.
Yeah.
That's getting out of control. Coaches will not go to 4 different teams in 4 years.
I saw that with a SWAC player. You leading scorer on a team, but you transferring. Really?
Well, in that situation, I can understand because they probably are saying, I got my name out there. Now let me go to a better program.
Mm-hmm.
That's using it to your advantage because we haven't heard anybody in the SWAC that was like a Lindsey Hunter, who went to Jackson State and balled out, and Avery Johnson, who went to Southern University. You know, you don't have those players right there that are getting those heavy looks, playing black college basketball. So I can understand if I ball out and I beast and be the MEAC Player of the Year or SWAC Player of the Year, I'm going to try to go to a major program. And if you listen to the broadcast for the short period of time that I do, you hear a lot of references at these blue blood schools of guys who transferred from smaller D1s.
Yeah, what?
They balled out, and now they went to, one of these blue blood programs, because as a coach with the transfer portal, I'd rather have a kid that I know balled out on some level of D1 basketball than getting a high school kid. And it's unfortunate for high school kids.
Yeah.
Because now they're getting left in the trenches.
Well,
It's the sorrow ones definitely.
Yeah, I mean, because these coaches, some of them on the hot seat, they don't have time to develop.
Because they're going to be gone.
They're going to be gone.
Where is the kid from Howard that they talked about? Anybody ever heard anything?
He's playing in the G League.
Oh, in the
Mark Jewel Maker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in the G League now for about a couple of years. He left Howard after that first year, didn't hardly play. He was hurt.
Right.
The whole year. And I was at some restaurant about a month ago, and I think he plays for it wasn't the Philadelphia 76ers G League team, but they were playing against that team for the Philadelphia 76ers, and he was on that team.
Mm.
Yeah, he's a beast in NBA 2K though.
Yeah.
Red man, go ahead.
Oh man, hey, Coach Rev, I've been enjoying this. You know, I know about as much college basketball. I probably know less than Rev at this point right now. And Rev is a basketball nut. I told Coach, you are the college basketball expert on this show. So when Coach started talking college basketball, I just sit back and take my notepad out, just pretty much listen. All right, nothing I can add to what you guys have said about the tournament. I mean, Coach, you pretty much said it all about the tournament. Everything I was gonna say, you said. Everything you was gonna say about the two top games, I agree. The Texas, I mean, the UCLA game was on when I got home from work last night. So the late games are the ones I probably have a chance to look at the most. And fortunately, I did get to see the UCLA versus Gonzaga game, and yeah, those last few minutes, those were something to see. Feel bad for UCLA, but like you say, Buddy took that half-court shot. That was it, but it was a pretty good game, and I agree with what you guys said about the Texas interim coaches. You saw my page last night. I said I'm going with Texas. I just something about this team, just something about this coach. These guys, they playing some pretty special ball. I mean, they might get eliminated, but I like Texas right now. That's a team that has kind of leaped off my screen in addition to Miami. And their coach over there seemed like he got those guys playing at a special level. Unfortunately, Armani isn't here, so I can't rip on Alabama like I wanted to.
So that was going to be your contribution to March.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to get on Alabama. But I agree with what y'all say about the kid, Brandon Miller. I mean, God, 3 for whatever. Yeah, dude. I thought you would have been the third pick in the draft, but if some other kid decides to be the third pick, I wouldn't be surprised because your stock has dropped after that off of game you doing. And it's like, that's what we looking for. We looking at these games for see, is anybody's stock gonna rise in the NBA draft? Because right now, who are we excited about being drafted in the NBA from this tournament? Nobody. Like you say, the Victor kid that's playing overseas, and then some other guy that's number 2. I don't think he playing in the tournament right now. So the top 2 picks.
Scoot, I can't remember Scoot's last name, but he's gonna be the number 2 pick.
Right. Okay.
One without a doubt. Ain't no change in that. And Scoot, he plays for Henderson. I can't remember his name.
But he's not in the tournament, right?
No.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So the top 2 picks not even playing in the NCAA tournament. And so, like you said, that's already making the draft watered down because we usually look at the tournament to see who can leap off the screen and say, okay, I might want that guy on my team. But like you say, Real, nobody, nothing. Nobody, I'm like, I don't care if any of these. I may not even, you said you didn't fill out a bracket for the first time. I might not even look at the NBA draft for the first time because who cares? Anybody coming out? Is anybody going to come out to help my Hawks or Lakers immediately? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? These kids, like you say, most of them you have to develop them. They're a work in progress, and that's when they get to the NBA. And like you said, like Rev said, the game has become so watered down. You got coaches picking players for the wrong reasons. The guys who aren't top level players, they might not even get a chance because you got people so focused on who's the best guy, who's the top player. If the guy can't help me right away, I don't want to develop him. My job is in jeopardy. I ain't got time to develop no kids. So it's just like the kids are getting hurt. The mediocre kids or the average kids, the ones who games could improve, they're getting hurt from all this. And the entitled kids, the ones who supposed to be this great, they're probably getting hurt because they have nobody to hone them in, nobody to teach them how to be men in society. It's just, I'm focused on my game. And if their game fails at the top level, guess what? They're going to be done. Yeah. So it's like, man, it's just like, that's why football is still going to be the top sport in this country because basketball, it's just, man, it's just become so watered down. The tournament has become watered down. The NBA game, all you got is guys coming in shooting 3-point shots. Either you shoot threes or you take it to the hole. The mid-range games become really non-effective, and it's just bad because a lot of kids, if you can't shoot the three or you can't drive the hole, the ones who say, I got me a pure jump shot, what's happening to those players now? It's like they don't even want you to shoot jump. They want you to go back, hit that three, or drive it in, get a posterized dunk or something like that. Is either they want you to be superstar Michael Jordan or you ain't good enough. You know what I'm saying? No room for average players, no room for the journeyman players. It's just, man, I guess I did have something to say.
Yeah, a lot to say. So let me do this. I'm gonna share who I want to win, not because of basketball strategy. I'm not breaking anything down because I've openly admitted I have not watched a complete game.
Me neither.
I'm not excited. So because I want that black man, Rodney Terry, to get the Texas job, that's why I want Texas to win. All right, now, Coach, I'm sure you've actually watched some games. So I'm going to put it on you. Who do you predict to go to the Final Four? And who do you think will be cutting down the nets on Monday night?
Well, I've already said Texas is going to be the team to win it all. Because I like they got all pure athletes. Those guys can run and jump and block and then they shoot well. They play good team ball. And one thing, like he said after a game, he said they have a bond between them and the coach, and they listen to whatever he says. And, you know, he's jumped in there. And that interim tag, I don't care if he wins or lose, they might well tear it up because he's going to be the head coach unless they make one of the dumbest decisions in American history and don't hire him because he's done enough to deserve the championship.
Well, here it is, Coach. Think about think about three other teams that you think will join Texas in the Final Four. But don't be surprised if he doesn't get the job. All right, I believe he has to win it.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, he has to win it because what they'll say, and this is not what they'll say out loud because of his skin color. They will say he did not put that team together.
Oh, they'll give it to Beard.
He did not recruit that team. Okay? So that's going to be their out. I mean, we saw what they did to Steve Wilkes in football.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was clear that the Carolina Panthers played much better football under Steve Wilkes than they ever did under the college coach who was a bust.
Mark Rule.
Yeah, Mark Rule, who's now in Nebraska.
Got another job.
And Steve Wilkes is a coordinator somewhere.
Bull crap.
Mark Rule is a head coach.
Bull crap.
You see,
but ain't no racism, right?
And remember now how they ran Shaka Smart out of there.
Well, yeah.
Right.
So
The short
don't
guy that was with Virginia Commonwealth.
Commonwealth, yeah. But yeah, they
Yeah,
ran
that's right.
him
He
out.
did go to
Okay.
Texas. How long did he last
Well,
at Texas?
And the year that he got out, they lost to the first round, granted, but they had won the Big 12 championship that year.
yeah.
And then he lost to the first round, and then he saw the handwriting was on the wall. That's why he dipped to Marquette.
Yeah.
Oh, he knew he was gonna get fired.
Yeah, they had him on the chopping block.
Give me those games. I don't have it with me. I know Texas and Miami.
Hold on right quick.
San Diego State and Creighton.
Who you got, Coach?
That's gonna be one of them ugly matchups. So they just beat each other up. San Diego State.
I'll take Creighton in that one.
I'm gonna give it to San Diego State because I think they have a desire to go further. They are playing tough ball, and you get this far, you might as well carry it over. Creighton is gonna do well shoot wise, but San Diego is just that team you're not getting another shot after you shoot it one time. That's gonna be it. They physical.
All right, and you've already given Texas the nod over Miami, which I know Maurice Throw is not agreeing with.
Mm-hmm.
Florida Atlantic versus Kansas State.
Kansas State. Florida Atlantic, all that joy and happiness over getting that far. Kansas State, the young man that came from Florida, Jennings and Noel, man, those cats, they're going to wheel themselves to beat Florida Atlantic. The dream dies right there on the spot.
UConn Gonzaga.
Oh, I don't want to pick this game.
Oh, I'll pick it. Gonzaga, because, boy, I hate to hear Molly Querim coming on first take with her UConn folks win. So, please, Gonzaga, beat UConn, because I don't want to hear Molly Querim celebrating on first take all week long. Don't want to hear about. Don't want to hear, my UConn, shut up. Please, Gonzaga, win. Just for our sakes.
You got
Magic. A lot of people picking UConn to win. They say UConn had that complete team just all the way around.
Who coaching UConn now, Coach?
Who you got, Coach? About Danny Hurley, Bobby Hurley's brother.
Bobby Hurley. I'm going with
Danny Hurley.
UConn.
All right, you going with UConn. You still got Texas cutting down.
What happened to Kevin Ollie?
He got fired.
Oh, man, he been gone.
Yeah, he had a lawsuit against him and got some money from his alma mater.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Man, well, it's going to be interesting. I would like to make a bold prediction. The bold prediction would be next week's Final Four will be the least watched in NCAA history.
We got no Duke. We got no UNC. We got no Kentucky. Like you say, you got Texas with a black interim coach. You got Kansas State. I can say a lot of powerhouses are gone. Like I say, you got Miami. You got Miami, but Miami and Texas. That's what I'm saying.
Miami
the two
ain't no powerhouse in basketball.
No.
They got
a fan base.
They were just celebrating going to the Sweet 16 for 2 years in a row. That ain't no powerhouse.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And Creighton and San Diego.
He's done an excellent job.
Mm.
No team in this tournament.
He's done an excellent job, man.
Is a power, except they throw the tag on Gonzaga because Gonzaga been pretty consistent. But
I mean, don't be surprised if Gonzaga wins it because they've fallen short the years that people predicted them to win. They had some studs, Jalen Suggs, Chet Holmgren, but don't be surprised if they win it this year.
They still ain't won it yet, right?
Say it again, Ray. I'm sorry.
Gonzaga still has not yet won it, right? Still waiting on them.
No.
Oh, you're right, Ray. They might win it this year then when it's sold.
I wouldn't be surprised. Murray says, come on, Red, why not welcome to parody? I don't mind parody. I just don't like watching parody that looks like trash.
Yeah, come on, Maurice. You know these guys ain't like watching it back in the day now.
We love parody. I mean, that's why we talk about NFL football so, because NFL provides the best parody out of all the major league sports,
Right.
pro sports. So I love parody. I just don't like trash.
Yeah.
And
Parody
this
is different from actually
this
sucking.
product is trash, and a lot of it is because these kids don't play together for extended periods of time. Like, it's very rare when you look at pro teams that can just gel coming together in 1 year. Think about how long it took Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to get on the same page. Look at
real.
LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh didn't win it all in the first year. They needed a second year. So that chemistry.
Shaq and Kobe, man, we needed a couple of years. We need to get rid of our coach. We needed a lot of things when we finally got it together.
Exactly. It takes time to build a team, and there's no team building in college basketball. That
Not anymore. That's why you need to make these kids stay 3 years, like we said.
Yeah.
Guarantee that you want to improve the game. You come to my college team, NIL or not, you're staying 3 years, and that's the bottom line. Or don't sign, because once you sign on the dotted line, you're here 3 years. I don't care if you score 50 points a game. You're not leaving. You're coming back. We're gonna be here 3 years. And we're going to build this cohesion, and we're going to improve this game. If you want to go to the NBA after high school, you can go. But once you decide to come to a school, you stuck, buddy. Stuck for 3 years. Shut your mouth. Go to class because you're stuck. You're going to be playing college ball for me. I am back in control. That's what the coach is saying.
Rev.
Yep.
Don't ever mention Tatum's name again. You know how I feel about him.
Oh, yeah. Tatum.
What did Tatum do?
He put a clinic on North Carolina 1 year, the year he was in college. Matter of fact, me and Coach were up at the airport, one of them hotels at the airport in Atlanta. And we were watching Jason Tatum dismantle North Carolina. That's why I'm still in shock how Magic Johnson thought Lonzo Ball was better than Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
I'm still in shock how the Philadelphia 76ers GM thought Markelle Fultz was better than Jason Tatum.
God, what school did Tatum go to?
Huh?
What school did Tatum go to?
Duke.
Duke. Tatum went to Duke?
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, I ain't paying. I sure wasn't paying attention. I did not. I swear, if you had asked me where did Tatum go to school, I would never have said. I did not know he went. I probably must have forgot. But man, yeah, because you're right. Because Lonzo, he flaked out in the tournament to De'Aaron Fox, and folks were saying, "Why did Magic drag?" Oh my God! Thank God we got rid of Magic, man. You're right, because Magic, another great player who fails at being an executive, man.
We'll get to that another person.
Yes, we will. But man,
Jerome said you can't make kids stay; they have to want to stay. And I think we're talking about following what they do in baseball, where you give the kids a chance to go out of high school, but if they go to college, they should stay for 3 years.
Yeah, at least
3 years. I mean, that you're looking at the product. That is terrible. The product is absolutely terrible. But they ought to thank God that March Madness is a moneymaker by itself. Because if it weren't for March Madness, college basketball would be horrible. Men's basketball, that is. All right, last topic before we go to halftime. World Baseball Classic. Good or bad for baseball? Red, what you got?
Tournaments are always nice, but honestly, for baseball, for MLB baseball, looking to be bad this year because all these top players you got hurting for teams. It was good to see. It was good to see the nice matchup between Trout and Ohtani. Like I said, when you get the best players in the world playing against each other, I can't poo-poo the competition. But as far as the MLB game, most of these teams just trying to get their players in and out of that tournament with no injury. And as we see, it didn't work out for a lot of teams this year. So right now, I'm gonna go in the middle, real. I'm gonna say it undecided right now.
Coach, your thoughts? You're a baseball guy.
Rev, I'm gonna go Stephen A. Smith again. I got to do it because somebody, and I saw it online, actually said that when Otani and Trout faced off, um, Otani struck out Trout, and they said, "Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen because Trout ain't that good a baseball player." And I was like, "What?" What are you watching?
Go ahead, Coach.
What are you watching? What game are you watching where you said Trout is not that good a baseball player? He's always on the All-Star team. Him and Otani, the best thing they need to do is saddle up and get out of Los Angeles, get away from the Angels. Because if they don't, they're gonna be struck with being the best ball players in the major leagues, especially Otani, on a team nowhere.
And that's why that guy probably didn't know that Mike Trout was the best, because I mean, like you say, they never play in the playoffs, and they stuck on the West Coast and Anaheim, where a lot of times you probably don't see them play if you're on the East Coast, because most of their games come on late night, and most East Coast guys, they either be into something else or sleep in bed, getting ready to get up for work the next day. And Trout and Otani, like I say, when the last time the Angels been in the playoffs?
And I mean, that pitch that Otani threw Trout, I don't know if Ken Griffey could have hit that pitch, because that pitch had something extra on it.
That was one of the best sliders I seen in a minute. That thing didn't cut till it got right down to the catcher's mitt almost.
And Trout was a gentleman about it. He said Otani 1, Trout 0, to be continued.
Coach, could you see Trout looking at that slider? Because when that thing was right down the play, I bet he was like, "Ooh, I'm about to kill this one, baby!" And woo, wow, where that ball
go? and Rev, I know you ain't gonna like this, but Trout looked like Serrano in Major League before he learned how to hit the curveball on that pitch. It was pretty ugly.
Well, Otani did throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah, he
threw 2 of them.
Yeah, that will get somebody off stride easily.
You're right.
You're thinking about a fastball, and they throw that a change-up slider on you. It's a wrap.
You don't know what to do.
I would have laid off of it.
Then you used to pitch?
Yeah, I used to pitch back in the day. They used to call me Mike Gooden in Roosevelt, Long Island.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question: will Otani hit that $500 million contract? Yeah, he might even hit 600. He's $600 million. I mean, if he has another great year, it's going to be crazy the contract that he gets. I mean, because he can do it offensively, he can do it as a pitcher. You know, he's that dude. I believe most people over 40 are somewhat disgruntled about today's basketball in comparison to 15, 20 years ago. Okay. WBC is bad for baseball because it will eventually force the MLB teams to add an amendment to the player's contract to not play. I don't know about that. I don't know about that because I think the players' union won't allow that. Because these guys want to play for their countries. They take pride in that. And I don't see a lot of these international ball players in particular.
You might be right. They might not sign up on that in their contract because they do have pride for their country. I can promise you. Ronald Acuna couldn't wait to play for his Venezuela team. So these players definitely want to represent their country.
Yeah, old man, get off my lawn kind of theory. Because I always say, when people don't play in these games like this, you can get yourself hurt practicing like this.
I mean, think about it. Rice Hoskins got hurt playing in a spring training game.
Right. Yeah. So that really had nothing to do with the baseball classic. Would that be 500?
Yeah. Good question, man. Yeah. I mean, I think the WBC is great for baseball fans.
Yeah.
It is
Like
great.
I said, you definitely want to let that final game had us all drawn in to especially when it was USA versus Japan. Those two have, I mean, we know Japanese had some great baseball players, and then it's Team USA, so we were definitely gonna be watching that one. It's just still now, fan like I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, so you still crossing your fingers saying, "Hope no, we don't want none of our players to get hurt," but we love the competition, we love it. So yes,
And the WBC is making up for baseball's steroids era,
Stuff.
strike era,
Mhm.
all of that stuff. So this is helping the game get better notoriety. Now, the only thing that might need to change, and I can't take credit for this thought, I heard it on one of the sports talk stations. It's competing too much against March Madness.
Yeah, you might need to move it.
bring it on. Cause the way they March Madness going, WBC is gonna be the March event we're gonna be looking forward to soon.
Here's the thing, though, because March Madness is driven a lot by betting. The WBC is at its height at the beginning of March Madness. So everybody's excited about March Madness because they want to see their brackets advance. So even though the product is bad in college basketball, men's basketball, folk will tune in to March Madness more than they will tune in to the WBC.
Yeah, for that one and done aspect.
Yeah, for that one and done aspect. Even though the WBC has the one and done aspect once they start playing the tournament. But, they may need to think about playing it at a different time. Who knows?
It's gonna be hard to play it after the season. And like I said, the 2 weeks they got
the season, for sure. I say it'll be difficult to play during the season for sure.
yeah. So they got that little window they have right before the season starts, that little 2 week window. I mean, then you got to think it's every 4 years. So it's not every 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So it's not every season. So I don't know. You bring up a good point, but I don't know how they can fix that particular issue right now. I guess March Madness and that final game is going to have to compete for right now.
For sure. For sure. All right, gentlemen. Last quick topic. Let's make this real quick. Should NBA teams shut down once they are eliminated? We mean shut down, bench their top players? Is that what we're talking about?
Maybe. Yeah, I guess so.
In 30 seconds, what's your thought?
Well, okay. I heard Dame Lillard speaking on it earlier this week saying he doesn't think with the way the Blazers are positioned in the West, should he even give it a go the rest of the season once they've been eliminated. And I was just saying, with all the talk of load management this season, with folks going to the arenas to see their favorite players, I'm like, dude, like folks say, they pay you 82 games. 82 games is 82 games. I mean, whether you in playoff contention or not in playoff contention, players just talk of shutting it down and not playing, or if they really have something to play for. Who started all this talk? Dude, y'all get paid. You get paid to play.
10 seconds.
Okay. You get paid to play 82 games. I feel like you should pay how you get paid. You get paid for 82, you should play 82. Done.
Coach, should they shut down?
No, because again, there's that one fan that only get one chance to see you, and if you decide to shut down and they pay that money and don't see you, then losing fans. Nope.
They do it anyway. I mean, they're going to shut down anyway because once you're eliminated, you're thinking about lottery balls. The thing that makes it more palatable now, the NBA was genius when they included the play-in because that keeps more teams eligible to be in the playoffs. So you're looking at 4 extra teams that's in the hunt to make the playoffs that would have normally not been in the hunt.
Yeah. It's keeping a lot of them from not shutting it down, too.
So you're thinking about 20 teams out of 32 are eligible for some type of playoff. So that cuts down on the tanking and all of that stuff. And, the reality is all teams are thinking about their best interest with health, and then they're thinking about, if you're eliminated, they're thinking about trying to get the best draft status. So if I can get more lottery balls, now that I'm eliminated, I'm going to shut down Dame Lillard. I'm going to shut down every top player because I want to have the best draft position. But the NBA, once again, was genius because now you put it in lottery balls rather than record.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think some teams have been penalized.
Thankfully, because man, if it was like the NFL where they just based it on records, honestly, Rev, it would probably be more tanking if they did it based off a record. Because now you can be like, okay, you have teams and front offices up there in the top trying to do percentages, looking at the schedule, looking at the games. Okay, if we lose these last 5 and so lose they last 4, we'll have the worst record. We'll get the top. You see what I'm saying? Because then it won't be no lottery ball. If you had the worst record, you getting the top pick, which means you're getting Victor Winnebago. If you got the second pick, the second worst record, you're going to have the second pick, and you're getting that second spot. Whereas the lotteries, it's just the percentages. You might get the number 1 pick. You might get the number 2 pick.
Yeah, they changed the game. And Corey, I think you're right. The 9 and 10 team, they do keep their lottery position, but it's not 9 or 10 because there's a 9 and 10 on the other side as well. Mm-hmm. So you got 9 and 10 in East, 9 and 10 in West. But nowadays, lottery position, unless you're in the top 3, you're getting somebody you're just going to be paying to warm up before the game.
You pretty much, look, after that top 5, you pretty much getting DeAndre Hunter.
Worse than that these days, though.
Huh?
Worse than that these days.
Yeah. I knew when we got that kid, dude, he could drop 20 or 30 one night. You may not see 20 or 30 for another 2 weeks, another 2 months. You remember, Real, when DeAndre dropped that 35 in game, what was it, last game with Miami last year? Everybody from the house, oh, here he come, DeAndre Hunter. You see, Red, he scored 35. I better say that N word. That boy he scored 35 points in a game since, man. So
he won't sniff it. He won't sniff it. I say he won't sniff making that kind of score.
God.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, gentlemen, man, let's get into halftime. Oops, that's the wrong song. Here we go. My bad, fellas. All right, it's halftime of the Red and Red Sports Show. We've talked March Madness. We talked WBC. We talked about NBA. Shutting down. We got some more topics coming. The coaching hirings that took place. We'll get into Cam. We'll get into John Morant. We'll get into Michael Jordan. We'll be right back for the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. are back on the Red and Rev Sports Show, coming to you with the second half of the show. Hopefully, you all have enjoyed it. Should have said this earlier. Y'all make sure y'all share this broadcast. Let somebody else know what you're watching. All right. All right. We got 5.
No, I definitely share.
Yeah, you share about 30 different platforms. So you are definitely the sharing king from the panel.
Get us out there. I want everybody to know about us.
That's for sure. That's for sure. All right, gentlemen, this is our 5 for 5 segment of the show where the panelists, which will be Red and Coach, will have 1 minute to talk as much as they want to about the particular topic. Then Reverend Knight Nation, feel free to put in your comments. We'll highlight your comments, and then whatever time is left within the 5 minutes for this topic, Rev will add some little tidbits to join in. All right? So that's what we're doing. I'll read this real quickly. Jerome Case, before we started. NBA is a form of entertainment first, and they need to make money to fund the business operations of the organization. Some teams can't afford to shut down due to the impact on ticket sales, concessions, and everything else. I think some teams shut down regardless because the fans will stop coming in certain fan bases. If the team is not that good, they're not coming. I just went to a Detroit Pistons home game week before last. They were playing the Denver Nuggets. The Detroit Pistons have one of the worst records in the NBA. I could have sat anywhere in the upper deck I wanted to. Like there were thousands of seats that were vacant. So, some fan bases will come regardless, but there are other fan bases. Once you get out the mist, they're not coming. So,
all those phony fans at the night they beat us in the championship. Yeah, they long gone now. Oh.
Yeah, for sure. All right, here we go. We know we have a couple of NCAA coaching hires. Let's start with the black man who was hired from Providence to go to Georgetown to replace one, Patrick Ewing, as the head coach. Coach, you get yourself ready. We're going to start with you. Let me get ready as I cue Lunits. Here it is, so the VP won't get mad at me. You ready, Coach?
Whenever you're ready, sir.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ed Cooley hired at Georgetown. Basically, right now, anything is the upgrade over Pat Ewing because 7 years. But they said great back, not great coach. Cooley's going to get Georgetown on the map. Right.
All right, Coach, we're going to come back to you. Red, what you got?
I think Ed Cool is a good hire. He did a respectable job up at Providence for 6 or 7 years, and I think Patrick Ewing did a horrible job while he was at Georgetown for 6 or 7 years. Like I think Coach was trying to say, these great players sometimes don't make the best coaches, and we're seeing that more and more every day. No, I'm not gonna say that. Good luck to Ed at Georgetown, and I'll save my little jokes. I keep my jokes to myself. But good job, Ed Cooley, hired at Georgetown.
All right.
Make sure you buy a Georgetown cap, Ed.
All right, Coach, try it again, man. You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but you keep going in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't hear you, man. We'll try the next topic.
Okay.
All right, Coach sounds like Anthony Corey said, Coach break it up like Lamar Jackson contract. He said, I missed the whole speaking with your Chick-fil-A combo. That was the entire citizen's worth 20. Oh, man. Coach, please reclaim your time as your Wi-Fi wasn't cooperating. And he's been bounced off now. Some superstar players just don't make good or great coaches, unfortunately. I agree. I think Patrick Ewing's biggest issue.
Besides his strip club,
But I'm gonna say this. I think his biggest issue is communication. Like you got to be able to clearly articulate, and you got to clearly articulate quick on your feet. If you listen to Pat Ewing, even in interviews, he's not the best talker. He's not the best communicator. And basketball is a fast sport, and you got to be able to speak as a coach on the fly. And he just does not have that ability. You know, I will give him his props. He did luck up that one year and had that good run where Georgetown won the Big East in the Big East tournament. But, you know, Pat, I think that's the problem why he could not get top recruits because he can't communicate well. You know, that's how you get those kids to come into your program. Calipari is not a great coach, but the Joker is a slick talker.
yeah, boy, yeah.
And that's why he can get top recruits to come in like he has this top class coming in. Now, you know, I don't think they're going to win none because he's not that great of a coach, but he can talk. You know, Coach K, good talker. You know, you got to be able to talk. That's why Prime will probably do well in Colorado because he can talk.
Yes. Preach real.
You got to.
Y'all.
I think that's
preaching real.
Coach doesn't even have Wi-Fi. It's why. Not why goodbye.
Oh my God. That's your boy Thomas, coach.
I think Star Center came out of Georgetown. I mean, at least excel at what you did best. Well, you're right about that on one end, but the problem is the big man is no longer the big man that he played like back in the day. You got big men shooting threes now.
Three. And can't shoot no threes.
If you want to see what today's big man looks like, look at Anthony Davis of the Lakers. Where everybody gotta shout, man, get your butt down in the paint. He'd rather shoot fadeaway jumpers than bang down low. I mean, we make a big deal of Anthony Davis going to the rack, which he should do like 75% of the time.
Right. I got to post it because he always shocked me when he go into the rack. I got to post it.
And you know he's going to fall if you don't have a clear path.
He's the most fallingest, you know what I ever seen on the floor. It gets so hurt. Dude, stop falling all these acrobatic. Dude, you out there filming the Matrix or something, man. Just take it easy, protect your body. Some players, when they know they brittle like that, you can try to protect your own body. Not AD. I got to do all on the court. I got to slide my legs and body going all these awkward ways. Dude, are you trying to drive us crazy?
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's move on to the other coach that was hired, big time hire at St. John's. Rick Pitino, the Italian stallion, is back in big time basketball after taking Iona to the NCAA tournament. He lands with St. John's in Queens of New York City. Red, what are your thoughts about Rick Pitino back in the Big Apple, where he used to coach the New York Knicks? What you got?
Okay. Let me get through this without making my Rick Pitino jokes, okay? I think Rick Pitino is a great college coach. I think he will do wonders for St. John's. It's been a minute since I heard of St. John's in a tournament. That might be over now that Rick Pitino is up there. I applaud Rick Pitino for bringing his entire staff for Iona up to there, so you don't have to. Nobody has to worry about what my next job is going to be. I'm following my coach up there, so I'm still employed. My family's still good. We good. Okay. Rick, all I can say is just do a good job up there. I know you are. I know you're going to recruit the best guys you can for that particular program. All I got to do is say, please stay out of the bars at night, because we all know what can happen when you hang out in bars at night. Okay? And stop. No. Never mind. Good job, coach. Good job, Rick Pitino, getting a job at St. John's, and I'm happy for you. I know you're going to do well, coach.
Coach.
Rick, simple as that. You're right.
We missed everything you said, Coach. Man,
It's simple as that.
yeah. I mean, let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. All right, try it now, Coach.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead.
Rick Pitino going to end his career at St. John's. It's going to be a couple of years, and then the party's going to be over. And Rick Pitino will be going, I assume, into the College Basketball Hall of Fame. So, and that's it. This is his last stop. The Mafia can't support him anymore, so he's done.
All right, so we just learned that Coach's Wi-Fi does not allow him to speak with music.
Oh, yeah. That's what's been going on. All right, Coach. Now we know you can't play music next time Rev not here.
You can't put 5 on it. So.
No music, Coach. Just keep it straight. We got to be silent show whenever Rev not around, because now we know what the problem is.
Oh, now when Coach talks, we got to take 5 on it off until he upgrades. And
hey, now he just
why goodbye? Why goodbye? Somewhere Chris Mullen is smiling at the hire for sure. That's a great hire. AD could jump into a pile of feathers and be out for at least 60 days. I mean,
they do it high now lately. Knock on wood.
If he jumped in a pile of pillows, he would be out for the season. He should only shoot.
All right, man. Y'all can get off my boy now. He's doing okay lately. He's been healthy for the last 5 days.
It's audio interference. May need to check audio equalizer settings. All right. I think Coach not using a laptop, using your phone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. All right, man.
Hey, Coach, sorry. Don't Coach supposed to turn his phone sideways?
He can't do that. For some reason, it won't be landing.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, nobody go, Coach. Go back up to the front. Now, yeah. Coach, got me looking like one of them movies, like one of them little Spike Lee angles.
Coach got his iPhone from the flea market.
And it's for 8 years. And that
it's time to upgrade. But nevertheless, we're moving on. Rick Pitino's hire at St. John was the perfect fit for St. John's, perfect fit for him. To get back, he'll probably end his career at St. So I'm ecstatic because I used to love St. John's and Georgetown battling when I used to live in New York as a little kid. Those are some great Big East battles. Mullen against Ewing, even though we won't see those kind of caliber players ever going against each other again because they don't stay in college long enough. But to see St. John's in New York City be relevant, to see St. John's play some of their top games back in Madison Square Garden rather than on their campus is going to be great to see. All right? Coach got a wife.
like why?
Coach got a Wi-Fi. Coach in his iPhone 5A, time to upgrade, sir. Lord have mercy. AD drove and dunked 2 and I got scared when he was swinging. It's like Lord.
Yes. I know the feeling. I know the feeling, Winston, man. Us Laker fans are doing like this every time his feet come off the ground.
All right,
we know how important he is to this little stretch run, especially with LeBron out.
Coach, get ready, man. Cam Newton, NFL prospect, goes to Auburn's pro day to throw his brother. Your thoughts? Go.
Put an S in front of that, Cam. The scammer is back again, trying to scam his way onto a team. I just don't. I mean, every now and then you just got to just fold it up and say, I quit. It's over. You had a good career. You went to a Super Bowl. And have a nice day, Cam. Let it go. Like Frozen said, let it go.
Red, jump in there.
Cam, how many times do I have to tell you? My sister needs a secretary over at Westlake. She needs somebody filing her papers, man. She waiting for you. She got a job for you over at Westlake. Now get your butt on over there and work for my sister, man. And in the meantime, you can help coach the Westlake, whatever their mascot name is. In the meantime, stop with this BS. Your job is not in the NFL. Your job is at Westlake helping Dr. Erica Crawford. Okay, so get over there and help my sister out, please. No, I'm just saying. But Cam, like Coach said, it's over with, man. You want to go do TV radio job? Fine. You want to help these kids out locally in Atlanta? Fine. But the NFL it is done, okay? You was MVP almost 10 years ago, and you choked in that Super Bowl and ain't really done nothing since that Super Bowl, okay? It's over, Cam, and honestly, I don't even know how big a prospect your brother is, but I know you throwing to him probably didn't rise in stock, okay? And your stock has been dropping since you choked in that Super Bowl. So, Cam, come on back home. There are jobs waiting for you in Atlanta. You can help these local Atlanta kids, okay? And you can go over there and help my sister at Westlake. Either way, no NFL jobs waiting for you, scammy. Done.
All right, let's do Urban Nation. So Cam is better than 1/3 of the league. He's better than Mariota. Cam Washington lets you be amenable to being a backup, then he needs to go to the XFL or CFL. Not a starter, but
Anthony, you know he ain't gonna be no backup. Like, he can be better than 1/3. Is he gonna be a backup, Anthony? Nope.
yeah.
So he don't need to be.
And that's his biggest issue right now. Would he be in the NFL if he were good backup material? Yes, but Cam is too much of a self promoter. Too much attention. Like, you don't need the backup quarterback having all the attention.
Exactly.
And
They're gonna be looking at me.
Yeah, that's Cam's. The biggest thing against Cam is the fact that he has too big of a personality, and it's too much to give him backup. Because even with his previous success on the football field, he was a solid quarterback. We can't deny that. At one point in time, I don't think any NFL team wants that smoke where the starting quarterback may be struggling for a quarter or two, then everybody's calling Cam's name.
Yeah, NFL stands for not for long.
Yeah, you don't need that. But I think it's absolutely embarrassing that Cam is throwing at a pro day in front of NFL scouts after being the #1 draft pick. It's sad, and I don't think he should have subjected himself to that level of embarrassment.
Was he trying to sneak in there and throw?
No, his brother encouraged him to throw.
And that's what all these Cam. Look, you guys supporting Cam. Did you hear what Rev just said? It is sad that a former #1 pick has got to go to Auburn Pro Day to audition to get back in the NFL. So while y'all sitting up here supporting Cam, you better look at his situation, okay? If he belongs in the NFL and if he's still viable in NFL, why is he at Auburn's Pro Day telling teams, look at me, I need to go back in the NFL? Are you guys not thinking, here we go with the delusion again? The guy is a former #1 pick at Auburn Pro Day. How many former #1 picks got to go to a college pro day to audition for the NFL? It's over, Cam. Over. I don't care how better you are than some of the quarterbacks in the league. It is over. Okay? So you guys can hold up your defense for Cam. I'm sure Cam is better than a lot of these sorry quarterbacks in the NFL. But the reality is his days in the NFL are what, Rev?
Over.
Thank you.
Now, so therefore, Anthony Corey, I'm going to leave this question for you, Red, because I think you've already answered it. Over under on Cam getting the job before Lamar gets his guaranteed deal.
How about over and over? Both of these dumb, you know what's gonna be out the NFL soon, man. Cam already out, and Lamar gonna be following suit if he don't get his act together and hire a doggone agent. You freaking moron! Do you not look how bad you looking out here, Lamar? And you coming on Twitter and all these social medias, saying there ain't no fake agent out there. Number one, you shouldn't have to be talking. Period. What are you talking for? You're not helping your situation out. Stop running your doggone mouth. Close your mouth. Hire an agent and hopefully you will have a bag soon. Ain't no doggone collusion. Ain't nobody out to get this kid. Ain't nobody out to do nothing but have him wise up and hire an agent. Keep your family out of your business, okay? Hire an agent so these teams can stop laughing at your donkey.
All right.
It's not. It's not. It's not collusion. It's a cry for help. It's don't call it what it is. It's a cry for help. He needs some help, and he's crying out. Nobody want to take that because he denying all these agents. I'm sure if he wanted something, he'd had an agent by now. But I forgot. He tried to be like Laramie Tunsil, who got his own contract. He think he can do that, but Lamar.
Larry is not a quarterback. His deal compared to the deal that Cam is seeking. Okay, yeah, I know Larry can negotiate that little $50 million deal, but Cam, you seeking upwards of 200 between 150 and $200 million. There are parameters in the deal, and also you're a quarterback. There are incentives in the deals too that you probably do. Get you an agent. Stop with the BS. Just hire an agent. You cannot negotiate this contract, Lamar. If you could, it would already have been done. You don't have the deal. You don't have a bag. If you could negotiate properly, it would already have been done. It's not done, so that should be telling you something. Hire an agent. See, I'm not yelling, Jerome. I'm talking nice and calm.
Put it on who it really belongs on. It belongs on the man up in the top left-hand corner. Rev. Rev is a guider of men. Rev should have reached out to the man by now.
Rev, you negotiate this contract for this man?
Nah, I just pray for him. That's all I could do, man, because here's the reality. They're not going to let a black man start doing something that's unprecedented. That's number one. And also, what's hurting Lamar is that he's not going to get a lot of support from the Players Association because most players have an agent.
Yeah.
If they start negotiating deals of this magnitude without agents, then they're going to start getting rid of agents. So agents are not going to push to support what Lamar Jackson is doing. So he's not getting any support from the owners. He's not going to get any support, collective support from the players because most players have agents, and those agents do not want to be obsolete from the process. So it's just not a win situation from any angle. All right. He said Lamar's going to get his money. He's not worried because he still get $30 million this year and teams know it. Well, he is worried because he wants a guaranteed contract beyond just this year. So, yes, he may get $30 million this year, but he's not complaining about getting $30 million. He wants the bag. And that's not what he's going to get without an agent. I hope Lamar choose this hill to die. It's sad. Rev is right. The agent angle is a strong possibility. The agents are definitely rooting against Lamar.
He just contradicted his own statement. But thank you for agreeing with Rev after you just disagree. Rev, if I was hurt. What did he say? Oh, Lamar definitely
needs an agent, but the NFLPA is pushing Lamar to go after fully guaranteed contract. Yeah, they're pushing a fully guaranteed contract, but not without an agent. If he's able to get this contract fully guaranteed without an agent, the Pandora's box is open.
Yeah.
And agents do not want that to happen. Red, if I wasn't hurt right now, I'd dance a jig on your rant about Lamar Jackson and his fake agent mom. Doesn't choose this. Lamar, get your life together. All right, let's move on, man. We didn't even have Lamar as a topic, but we'll move on to back to basketball.
Yeah, Anthony Corr sneaking Lamar in there. I saw what you did, Anthony, trying to sneak that Lamar.
Red, you're on it, man. You got 5 on it. I'll be reminded to cut it off when Coach goes. Ja Morant speaks. He's back.
Okay.
The genuine or fake, what he just went through. What you got, Red?
Uh, I'll just iterate what I said on my page earlier this week. Uh, I just think it was just all talk. Just talk just to get himself back in the league. They say he was suspended 8 games after he had already sat out 5. So technically, after the statement, he was only suspended 3 games. I have absolutely no idea what kind of. First of all, I don't even think he needed counseling, man. It's not a counseling situation. Dude just need to get his act together. He just need to stop doing stupid stuff. Stay out of the clubs. Late at night doing dumb stuff. I don't care about going to the club, dude, but you don't need to be brandishing any weapons in the club, okay? You don't need to be beating up young kids playing basketball in your driveway. You don't need to be aiming guns, your little red lasers at the Indiana Pacers bus because they beat y'all. You don't need to be telling no kids you're not going to sign his jersey because he played for the Warriors and all he is a fan. Dude, this is just stupid, arrogant, egotistical behavior that you just need to cut out. This ain't got nothing to do with I don't think you a mental case. I never thought you needed therapy. I just think you need to grow up and wise up and keep that stupid entourage that's gonna ruin your career. Keep them away from you. You don't need to be hanging around with thugs and gangsters. You need to be hanging around with folks in your class with your status. So I'm glad he's back. That's where you need to be on the court. But do I think he's changed? Do I think he's learned a lesson? No. So, but we'll see because I don't think he can.
Coach.
Who ever heard of Jay Morant's daddy before this year? Nobody. But yet you walking around here with a sweatshirt with redemption on it. This ain't your fight. This your son. And that's where you need to start getting a big hedge clippers or scissors or something. That's where you need to cut ties at right there with him. Get him off your bandwagon and let him just be a supportive daddy, like Steph Curry's daddy or somebody else's that don't do this. You are the new LeVar Ball, and it didn't work for him, and it ain't gonna work for you.
All right. Let's see what Revenant Nation has
To
to
it
say.
now, coach.
All right, let's see what Revenant Nation has to say. He said, Brad didn't contradict anything. I'm looking at the possibilities from last topic. Maurice said, Ja Morant, just shut up, play basketball, tell your daddy to practice social distance. Nothing good happens after 10 or in Ja case before 10-2. As long as Ja can dunk, he'll be fine. Jerome says Morant needs to stop hanging with his daddy. Find a real wise vet side of life coach. Ja daddy should be like Trey dad and stick to Twitter. Got one more. What's up, fellas? Just popping in on my break.
Man, pop on somewhere else. Pop
For
some.
real. Oh.
What's up, everybody? I ain't gonna do you like that. We didn't know that you weren't gonna be on the show today, though.
Yeah, we actually ready for you to be on the show today. We had some thoughts about Alabama basketball, but since you decided to cower out and hide, I guess we have to save them for later.
He would accuse Shelby of not being seen, huh? When he do
Oh
that?
my God, boy, you lucky Shelby not here. Cause boy, she sure would have been asking where you were today. Shelby, where you at, girl? Get on our money for not showing up when his number one roll tide became turds again last night. Don't worry, I'll bring Shelby into this. She'll get her thoughts on this.
All right, Coach, you see what Jerome had to say. What's your thoughts?
You can't be serious. I'm gonna ask you a question. Did the Ball brothers start playing well after their daddy stopped talking, or while their daddy was doing all that yapping? I want you to answer that question. Now put it in the comments. Did we start seeing better play after daddy just stopped all that yapping trying to be the center of attention? Or did they start playing well when they were the center of attention?
Yeah, I think Coach definitely has a point here because we had never really heard about Ja Morant's father until this year. I can't remember any highlights or any real coverage on Ja Morant's dad until this year.
Well, I think they got him last, but the thing is, they just showed him on the sideline sitting down looking like Ursa. He never was saying,
Sorry, Red. I'm sorry.
"Oh,
This
you
is
don't have that."
Just leave that. He going with that, man. Come on, Jerome, man.
this
Like
is
some things are not that deep, bro. The bottom line is, the more visible his dad has been, we see that Ja Morant has been a bit more trouble. We can argue. We've seen it. LeVar Ball was a detriment, especially to his middle son, LiAngelo. LiAngelo should be a senior at UCLA probably right now, and he won't sniff the league. He built up Lonzo only to have Lonzo not live up to any of the hype. LaMelo can't stay healthy. Matter of fact, Jason Whitlock said back when he was
Oh,
that LeVar Ball had a T-shirt company masking it like it was a shoe company. I hadn't
what
seen.
happened to that shoe company?
Oh man, they went to the they filed. I'm sure they filed bankruptcy,
they
man.
probably filed every chapter in America. Chapter 20, chapter 10, chapter
I
13.
think, I think Lamar, not Lamar, but Lonzo and his father on the outs too because of that shoe
Stop
company.
in those raggedy shoes. He won one time, a couple times, and that was it.
Then Shannon Sharp said he bought a pair, threw them things away, didn't he? Or something.
Well, I mean, it was just misguided, man. And then your name, I mean, paying that kind of money for shoes is just ridiculous. The shoe company was defeated. That was a good one. All right, man. Let's go to this last topic, man. MJ quits.
Oh, it's about time.
His majority ownership of the Charlotte Hornets, that used to be the Charlotte Bobcats, that he actually bought from another black man. We'll start with you. Who we started with last? Coach, we'll start with you, bro.
Yeah, coach, I did it first on Morant.
So no music. Reminded. All right, ready? Go with it, coach. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong person. Go with it, coach.
Wow, coach looked different.
Michael Jordan, the only thing he wasn't last at was being last. That's all, as an owner. That's the only thing he wasn't last at. Attendance low, wins low. Just like the guy made the joke about Michael Jordan said, you got too many Urkels on your team, that's why your wins low. I said, oh my gosh, they didn't have to do him like that. But hey, 0 for Michael Jordan. Thank you for leaving, Mike. It's okay. You're a great basketball player.
Rick.
Well, that just goes to show, like we've continued to say, that great players sometimes don't make the best coaches and definitely don't make the best executives. Jordan took it a step further. Don't make the best owners. But I will give Jordan credit for as much as he failed building a winning team, he won in the financial department because what he bought the Hornets from will not be what he's selling them from. So he did make a financial profit in what he's going to eventually get from selling his share of the team. But if we're talking about just from a basketball winning championship standpoint, Jordan was about his biggest failure as an owner and GM as he was a success as an NBA player. You want to say he was one of the GOATs, one of the NBA greats all time? Okay, I agree 100%. But you definitely better say he was one of the worst owners, one of the sorriest GMs, one of the biggest failures as a front office executive of all time too. Because like Rev has told people earlier this week, dude sucked. He was a failure. No playoff series wins, no conference championships, no NBA finals appearances, no success on the court, none whatsoever. Can't draft a player, can't pick a player, can't scout a player, can't do nothing. He could play ball, that's what he can do. And he can make some He can definitely sell some shoes. He can definitely do that, and he can make some money off the team. But as far as putting a winning formula together and a winning basketball team together, absolutely not. MJ, he's the two words you thought you'd never hear in your life, and you might not ever hear again. But you failed, okay? Can't wait to see Air on April the 5th, though. Ooh, can't wait for that movie, Jordan. Real?
See what Reverend Nate's gonna say first. I'm waiting to see if Jerome Case is gonna throw out that stuff he was throwing out on Facebook this week.
Nothing. I knocked him out. I killed this argument.
Product on the court may be trash, but he's a winner selling shares. As bad as Zeke was with the Knicks, would you say he was?
Yeah. Don't ever talk about Zeke again.
Well, he's all right with the Pacers.
All right, listen. I'm gonna chime in real quickly. For you, well, let me see this last comment. MJ leaving ownership, long time coming, for sure. Listen, you Michael Jordan fans, I'll openly admit I was never a big Michael Jordan fan. I'm not going to deny his greatness. It's okay for him to be bad at something. Stop trying to be spin doctors. Stop trying to say, then I'm going to put Jerome Case on the spot right now because he wasted my time while I was in Richmond trying to do the Lord's work with this foolishness. Where he said, because I said that MJ sucked, I was thinking like a fan, not as a business person.
Oh, there you go, Real.
Anybody who believes Michael Jordan bought Charlotte with the intention just to make profit and not win championships, you're a fool. This is the same man that bets thousands and millions of dollars on playing golf. And you trying to tell me a man who bets thousands and millions of dollars on golf holes did not intend to do great things for Charlotte when he bought the team? Stop it. Stop it. It's okay. Mike was a great player, but it does not deny the fact that he was a terrible owner.
Terrible.
If you look at he picked Morrison, bust. Michael Kidd Gilchrist, bust. And they were top 5 picks. Bridges, bust. You name it, it was a bust. Gordon Hayward as a free agent, bust. I mean, stop it. These people who are just MJ slurpers, stop the slurp fest. You can slurp all day, talk about him as a player. But as an owner, he is arguably one of the worst NBA owners in NBA history. Okay? One of the worst. And the reason why he was one of the worst is because he didn't put good people who would tell him the truth in the office. He wanted nothing but yes people. That's why him and Charles Barkley are no longer friends. Because Barkley called him out years ago that all he wanted was yes men in the building. And if anybody went against MJ, they were fired.
Look at that last statement, Rev.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Everybody makes a return.
Really? Sacramento Kings made money.
Nothing. Do you think my man Kraft with the New England Patriots just thinking about the profit that he's made once he sells the team? He celebrates the championships that his team won more than he will celebrate the profit because he already came in with money. Like, why are we celebrating the money aspect? He had to have already had money in order to buy the team. So that's not the genius. What are y'all thinking about? He already
Real.
had to have money in order to purchase the team.
Real, they like these morons that say, "Oh, you can't talk about Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan living good. He making all that money. He living a good life." Yeah, and he sucked as a quarterback. Who
Exactly.
cares?
Who cares? And here you go with this stupid statement. So you want to Google why Charles Barkley and MJ ain't friends no more?
Wait a minute, fact. What you mean, fact? Dude, everything Rev just said is the truth. I'm saying, listening to him. And Rev said anything that was wrong, anything that wasn't true. Don't you think I would have asked them, where'd you hear that, Rev? Dude,
Everybody, that's public knowledge.
yes, everything you just said has been public knowledge. What, Jerome? What are you missing, dude? You think Michael Jordan bought that team to be the worst owner in NBA history? Yeah, he made money. Every team in the NBA owners have made money. Sacramento Kings owner have made money when they were sucking for years. Okay, who's the sorry? Oh, my bad. The Hornets are the sorriest team in the league, and they making money. Okay, so that should tell you if the Hornets are one of the sorriest team in the league and they making money, all the owners are making money. But back to the topic, we are talking about putting a winning team together, and at that point, Jordan has failed. Okay, I understand the 600% profit. Like I say, all owners are making profits, okay? You got corporations out here that ain't selling crap, but they making profits, okay? So, look, the fact is, Rib is right. Jordan did not buy the team to suck. He did not. I'm pretty sure he didn't buy the Hornets saying, I'm going to buy the Charlotte Hornets and be the worst owner and the sorriest GM in NBA history. Because if he did, boy, Jordan, you sure know how to live up to your goals.
I mean, anybody who know, and I gotta question your fandom, Jerome. Like, do you really know who you were cheering for, who you've been slurping on as a player? When did Michael Jordan do anything to fail? Think about that.
Right.
This dude got so upset by getting cut
Okay.
as a JV basketball player, he made it his top mission to just devour everybody. So don't tell me he didn't bring that same mentality as an owner. If he just bought it for a payday, he wouldn't have been sitting on the front row, sitting on the bench basically with the team every day.
And why did he slap Malik Monk in the back of the head? I'm pretty sure it had something to do with sucking.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like Jerome, like bruh. Stop it, man. If you're MJ Slurper, it's okay that he was a terrible owner. It's okay.
Oh, okay, so he's an MJ. Jerome is an MJ fan, big time.
Oh, yeah, he's an MJ fan.
What? Come on, now, Jerome. You know I love Kobe now, but I'm here to tell you, Kobe failed at some things, man. He
Well,
failed
but
at some
check this
stuff.
out, Glenn. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Timothy is on point. He brought another reference when MJ sucked as an as an executive. When he was with the Wizards, he sucked.
Yeah.
And he didn't own that team.
Who did he draft?
And he wanted the team to be relevant. That's why he came out of retirement and suited up. So he has a history sucking as an executive. Thank you, Timothy. So what facts we got on that? How about that?
Hold up, ask him why did MJ buy the team?
Oh, he was a businessman.
Okay.
He just thought about the profit.
He never bought it with the intention on winning.
You did. You said I was thinking as a fan when I said he sucked. But you want to keep talking about how he got a profit. Come on, man. Stop it, man. Come on, man. I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous. Buys a team and that team wins one, we wouldn't hear the end of it. Of course. We would say he was a better owner than MJ, period. That's just the reality.
He's probably going to end up being him.
He was terrible drafting Kwame Brown. He has a history of being terrible drafting players, period. I never said he made a great business decision. Man, stop it. All right, I'm done.
Great business decision. Terrible NBA decision, though.
Exactly. Armani, great point. He did not buy his home state team just for a business endeavor. Stop it. Stop it, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Jerome, man, I don't know where you thought you were going with that opinion today, man. Jordan, all the owners make money, man, but Jordan failed. Plain and simple, he failed as an owner, as a GM. Now, if you don't agree with that part, then yeah, you are in a state of delusion right now. We understand. We know you like battling Rev on a daily basis and being his main competitor. But man, you are failing miserably right here, man. This not even an argument right here. I mean, who in the world would think Michael Jordan was a success? I mean, if you just took that statement, let's say he just took that statement out to the middle of the street and nobody even thinking about the financials of it. You just say, Michael Jordan owned the Charlotte Hornets. What? He is a successful owner. What? Somebody gonna ask, what have the Hornets done? Have they won any championships? When the last time they even made the playoffs?
Now, I'm gonna see how consistent he is. I'm gonna see how consistent. So then, using your logic, Donald Sterling came up big too, didn't he?
Uh-oh.
He was a racist who came up. Because he sure did get $1 billion plus for the Clippers. So did you say all of that when they were getting ready to get him out because of making those racist remarks? Did you talk about, well, he might be a racist, but he got that payday? Did you say that?
And was Donald a successful owner? Because he sure made profit.
Because he came up. Did you say that, Jerome?
Oh, man, that's a good comparison, real. Because, yeah, he definitely made money on those Clippers every year.
All right, Coach. What's your last thought? Here we go at the straw. Now, everything that throws him into a corner is a straw man argument. Yeah, you didn't say nothing about Donald Sterling. He made money. He got a profit. He got 600% more than what he paid for the team. But it's a straw man argument. Go ahead, Coach.
He had to have a profit with all those models he was dating. They sure wasn't dating him for his good looks.
Sure. He losing. Jerome is losing this because you are just looking at the money aspect, and Charlotte hadn't been relevant as a team in years since Jordan owned it. And who gonna buy a team just to have them play in the NBA and not be successful? Who gonna just spend money like that on a team just to put them in the league and then finish last every year, then bring a bunch of nobodies there just to because you got to put a team together?
According to Jerome, Coach, obviously Michael Jordan.
So now he don't want me to move the conversation to ownership in general, where I read, as you said, all owners make money. So now we just talking about MJ. His reason is only for MJ. Now,
you was losing that argument. We trying to help him out.
So now it doesn't apply to all owners. We just want to talk about it. He said, I'm not trying to win anything. I made a statement about Jordan making a big. So didn't Donald Sterling make a good business decision? Did he? Where he finally conceded? Where he had to concede? All right, so
is Daniel Snyder gonna make a good business decision?
Exactly. It just makes no sense. Here's where you would make sense, Jerome. You trying to. It would be runoff. That's bad English. Donald Sterling was runoff. You're right, but he still made money. Period. That's the point I'm making. He still made $600 million, 600% more. All right, here's where. But he made exactly. Thank you. So that's the wrong side of the argument. That he made a good business decision when it's been trash. That's the wrong side of the argument. Because if it were just about money, then MJ would have done what people do with houses. He would have just flipped the team and would not have stayed 13 years.
Yeah.
If it was just making money, he would have sold the team within 3 to 5 years of when he bought it, if it was just about making a good business decision. But he realizes he's terrible.
He thought he was going to redeem himself, real.
at least he's come to grips with the fact that he's terrible, even though some of his cronies have it. Follow the leader. MJ is selling the team because he says, I suck at this. And the only good thing that's going to come from it is that I'm going to get some money. Go ahead, Red.
Let me close this off real by saying I appreciate this because now my guy has probably excelled past Jordan because we all know Kobe's second career, he succeeded real with his Academy Award. Kobe won an Oscar with his second career. So, thank you guys for allowing my guy, who we all said he copied Jordan. Yeah, he copied his career, but he didn't copy his after basketball career because Jordan been sucking and fell. Well, my guy, he went into another medium and did the same thing, took his greatness into another medium and won the ultimate great award. Kobe Bryant, Academy Award winner. So thanks, Kobe. Thank you, Jordan, for sucking as an owner and allowing my guy to finally surpass you in something. And all I got to do is say, you MJ fans, man, LeBron's off-court activities, man, he might surpass Jordan because dude is definitely, man, he is dressing fly on the court. So we know Nessa ain't dressing LeBron like Nessa. I mean, we know Vanna not dressing LeBron like Nessa used to dress Kobe back in the day. Because I ain't gonna lie, real, Kobe used to wear some trash on the sideline. You want playing, man. You want to talk about a fashion? Oh, Lord, what is he saying now?
How many of us have made 600% profit off something?
I have.
Go ahead, Coach.
I made plenty of profit off doing some things at the school with fundraisers and things like that. But here's the thing: who would hire Jordan? Who would give Jordan a chance to run another franchise in the NBA?
Now they basing off his last two.
Well, if he buys it, they will. But they won't never let be.
I wouldn't even sell because I know he ain't gonna do nothing with it.
Right? Who would give him the opportunity to buy it? And I mean you look, $600% profit is fine, but are you Jerome, obviously you don't care. You didn't care if they won or lost, right?
He did. He's just trying to save face, trying to find a panacea to that foolishness.
You didn't care if they had a successful season or not. You just worried about the money for Jordan, right? I'm just asking. I ain't trying to.
Coach, let me respond to Corey right quick. Yeah, Kobe. He never had Space Jams, but he had Dear Basketball, the Academy Award winning Dear Basketball. Space Jam never was nominated for no Oscars, but I bet they got nominated for plenty of Razzies, though. So please stop trying to compare Space Jam to Kobe's Oscar winning masterpiece, okay? And as far as LeBron, we already know he ruined Space Jam. So, LeBron, you ain't doing too good in the movie business yourself. Sorry, Coach. I had to respond to Anthony.
All right, let's get ready to end this thing real quick. We'll give them the last statement.
Well, we're not grouping on point. I've been enjoying this.
And I have profited from Coach's woeful picks the past 2 years. He too worried.
Oh, my God.
I'll let you get to it, Coach. Hold on a second. He too worried about MJ pockets. He not sharing it with you, Jerome. Why does it matter? Now
get him a money.
Have mad using fantasy.
I heard it too, Anthony. I was like Rev using them SAT words.
That means hold on, Coach. I'm gonna give you a chance. Let me read these last comments. I'm gonna give you a chance to go back at that statement. Billionaires make more money by investing and taking chances. I'm sure Jordan wanted to win. I never debated his desire to win. All right.
You never. What the work you just been doing?
I lived in Charlotte when they played in the Hive. They were something to talk about. The plan was to move them downtown Charlotte. Charlotte is a small market team. They're not going to make it. They haven't had a performer since Ray Felton. Sean May was garbage. All right, Coach.
Raymond Felton wasn't all that either.
He had a decent I mean,
Yeah, he was decent. He was
but
decent.
he wasn't no star by any stretch of the imagination. That's for sure. All right, Coach, go get Maurice. What
Maurice, I want to see your chest stick out when both your Miami teams lose this weekend. And don't go further. I want to see you stick your little your rooster chest out then.
Now, Coach, I know the women's team is not going to win, but if the boys' team wins, you know you're going to get that smoke next week.
That's fine, but I
Ooh, boy, is he? Maurice may come on the show next week if they beat Texas.
No, he won't be coming in because he gonna come up with an excuse like he always does. One of our players was missing. The boy's shoe was untied at the wrong time, and he caused the layup. He ate too much chocolate. He'll come up with something.
You ain't doing them like that, Coach, huh?
Yes, I am, because he think he's slick. He try to sneak little stuff in.
Now, did y'all know each other before the show?
On another sports group in Facebook.
Okay.
Sports K.
Y'all had a rivalry for quite some time, huh?
Yeah, because I'm still waiting on that big time Miami championship, NFL championship since 1972. Hello.
Well, what is y'all main beef though?
Well, he think Miami rules everything.
Hold on. Look at Maurice said I'm requesting a guest appearance now.
Red. I'm step back. You gonna bring them all?
Coach, you for it?
I'm good with it. See, he think Miami rules everything, but he rarely was been taught before this year. Really ain't had nothing to talk about. He ain't talked about throwing up the U in college football. They've been throwing up after the game when they lose.
Whoa, man, Ray, you might bring them on. Man, I want to see this little battle right here.
Maurice, check your messenger, man. I just sent you the link. We got 5 minutes with Coach and Maurice. I just sent you the link. So
I gotta watch you, Ray. I gotta watch you.
Talking about MJD, and it was a great move. Check your LES.
What is LES? Dude, I hope that ain't lies.
You've been debating everything we've been discussing, oh boy. Now you said you wasn't debating it, so you wasn't debating Jordan as a success on the basketball court. We already told you it was nothing to debate about the profit because we agreed with you. He definitely has made a profit, but he still sucked as a GM and owner. That was the only point we were making, Jerome.
All right, here's Maurice thrower. Matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do. Once we put Maurice on, we're gonna let him and Coach go at it for 5 minutes. All right, Maurice thrower, welcome.
What's up, Maurice?
To the Red Sports Show. Yeah. So now you can address Coach directly, and me and Red are gonna be muted. So unless it gets out of control, I ain't saying nothing. All right, Maurice.
Do you see that big stadium back there? That's where your Steelers lost last season. You do remember that, don't you?
Okay. What does that have to do with the tea in China? Price of tea in China? When's your last Super Bowl appearance? That's all I need to know. I don't need to know nothing else.
Oh boy. Okay, listen, we get it. I wasn't even born yet. Well, I wasn't born until 6 months later.
When did the University of Miami have? When the last time they done something in college football?
What? 2001.
What okay? USC been winning one after that. Keep going.
Okay. Listen, I get it that you're a year older than me, so it's like, hey, it's no big deal. But I went to the U. You went to Mississippi Valley State. So if you wanted to keep it real, let's ask this question. When has Mississippi Valley State last won their conference?
In 1984.
When?
84.
Okay. And when our respective pro teams actually played, who won?
The last game they played?
That's okay. I'm happy for my alma mater.
Quarterback, you got to win. Okay, you got to win. That's fine. But
That's right. And I
see.
stand proud with the U. We're in the Elite Eight, a place that where our women's have never been. Our men, we're doing a very very good job with Jim Larinaga at the helm. Hey, right now we're playing with house money.
Right.
Everything else is up from here.
And when you lose, you're gonna lose with house money because that you're gonna be throwing up to you, and they're gonna stand for ugly loss. That's what's gonna happen.
Ooh.
You're gonna take that one and keep going. It's okay though. You have overachieved this year. No man do what they did, which is good for the person to come in, boys and girls to come in and do it. And nobody saw that coming. But
well, I'll be sure to find a green glove and give you a nice 2-lane green wave next time that we talk, okay?
Oh, you talking about the getting in the bowl? Let's see.
Yeah, 2 lanes, sir. 2 lanes.
Let's see. When has Miami been in a bowl? Cereal Bowl?
Right now we suck.
Okay. Hey, it's gonna be a long process for y'all to get back to where you used to be, but we are always up there. Who they talking about USC or Miami this year?
Well, let me ask you this here. Now, you're supposed to be a USC guy, football-wise.
I am.
But yet, you have so much love for a player that played for their rival. And would defend him till the end. Why is that?
Who is that?
Russell Westbrook.
I've been a West fan since he came in the league. It doesn't matter. Once he get in the NBA, all that college affiliation means nothing to me. I like the kid because he plays hard every game. And I think treatment a lot of times because does he do a lot of things wrong? Sure he does, but so do a lot of other point guards.
Listen, it's a beautiful thing. I don't understand why you hate Miami because it's like whenever Miami teams tend to come up, we know you throw salt in the game, but it's okay. It's okay.
I hated Miami. Oh no, you said the wrong thing. I never said I hate Miami. Now you're trying to throw words in there. No, I never said I hate Miami. Now you like the Miami Heat, right?
Yes, I am a proud Miami Heat employee.
Right, and that's your prerogative to like. Now, if a player from where did Butler go to school?
Say what?
Where did Butler go to school?
What if who?
Jimmy Butler. Where did he go to school?
Marquette.
Okay, so you hate Marquette?
No.
So that you talking about I can't like Westbrook because he went to UCLA, but you don't hate. I
told you, I just found it odd.
You don't hate anybody that didn't go to University of Miami playing for the Heat.
Well, let me just interject real quickly. So, to make an analogy that would fit to go against Maurice to kind of back him up in his own corner, if that's the case, you shouldn't be a Udonis Haslem fan.
Yes, tonight we are honoring Udonis Haslem tonight, because he born and raised in Miami. He went to Miami High, he went to Florida, came downhill, got himself three chips.
But using your point against Coach is a USC guy. Now, to Coach's credit, he doesn't rock with USC in basketball. He rocks with North Carolina.
Hold on, Coach. You like North Carolina? Why preseason #1 North Carolina? That team that failed to make the tournament. That's the first time that's ever been done, Coach. That's another L in your back pocket, sir.
I tell you what, count your banners. Let's see what kind of L's we got. Miami.
All right, man. We go. Last statements, man. We got to go. Last statements. What you got for Maurice?
Last statement. Y'all have a right to show up and show out and make my pockets fatter.
Coach, any closing comments for Maurice?
Boy, that you gonna have a lot of meetings, but probably gonna be undeserved because you ain't gonna.
All right, man. Maurice, man, thanks for joining the show. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, that's okay. Greetings from
Hey,
the Miami
Maurice.
Open.
Thanks, Maurice. I'm
We'll
talking
let
to you,
back
buddy.
in again,
Appreciate you
man.
having you.
Take it easy.
Hey,
bro.
not a problem.
All
Let's
right.
go Heat.
All right, man.
Let's
Peace.
go Texas. Ah!
All right, man. That was pretty dope right there.
Hey, we missing something on the Rev Night Nation. Look at Jerome and your boy battling. Man, we having battles all over here today.
I think we may have a new show coming up, Battle.
Oh man.
Where we could get people to battle off a topic. So
Yeah, because boy.
That may be coming soon. That may be coming
Anthony,
soon.
hey, Anthony, this your fault, Anthony. We ain't never had all this drama until you came on the show, Mr. Corey. I love you, boy. I'm glad you showing up, but boy, where all this drama come on the days you show up to the show? It's just like on my page, boy. I tell you, Anthony, you know how to bring the crowd, boy.
All right, cool. You
got look at Armani and Jerome, boy. They battling over here.
We're gonna let them battle. I'm about to get off the show for today because I got to prepare for my anniversary.
Oh yeah, that's right. Y'all got an anniversary, okay?
Yeah, but
this has definitely been episode 275. Has been really it's been that show.
Yeah. Now we need Red and Shelby show.
Hey, we already had a solo show. You better go back and check the archives.
All right, Coach. Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Miami and Texas, you have a right to give us the game of games, even surpassing the Kansas State, Michigan State game. I don't want any blowouts. I want a good game battle between the two and some good basketball.
All right, Red, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
I just stick with my Lakers. My Lakers, I mean, you have bounced back from 0-5, from 2-10, and now you finally reached 500. You have the right to take care of them Bulls. Patrick Beverly, big mouth. Eric Ross and his trash talking. You have a right to take care of all that tomorrow and finally get over 500 for the first time in 2 years. Tomorrow versus the Bulls. The Lakers, you got the right to win and no excuses. Just win, baby.
All right. And Rodney Terry, interim head coach of the University of Texas, you have the right to take your team to the Final Four, one step closer to get a national championship and ultimately getting the job that you deserve. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes episode 275. Great show. We got a prelude to another show that could be on the horizon. So stay
300?
What we have to do. No, I'm talking about a new complete show.
Oh, I got to say, yeah. Hey, episode 275 was all that. Thank you, Rev Night Crew. Where did this go?
New shows on this network. All right. Man.
Tell Thomas, Rev, he has the right to get bit by a gap-toothed piranha.
He said he was chasing hedgehogs. You got a right to, you better catch Sonic.
So the president is on record with FAU. His outlandish pick. We can roll beautiful beans footage next week. I got the right to catch plenty more fish for dinner today. Rev, you have the right to eat first on Sunday and enjoy that piece of chicken. Just make sure you spell peace right the next time. I appreciate it, Dope. And with that said, it's time to take the down and close the show. Thank you, Maurice, for picking up for Vincent Woodruff. Look, everybody, we had a great 275. We look forward to seeing y'all next week for 276, 11 o'clock, same Facebook page, same YouTube channel. Peace and love. Enjoy your weekend. May the Lord bless you and keep you, as mine said. Appreciate you, appreciate you, Coach. Y'all have a great one. And we are out.
All right. See you later, Rev and Coach. Y'all have a good one, too.